The Civil Rights Act, America Changes Course, written by Nova Ashford, narrated by Christina Foremans. Chapter 1. The Road to Civil Rights. The history of civil rights in America is deeply intertwined with the nation's founding principles, yet it is also defined by contradictions that stem from its treatment of African Americans. Slavery, which was institutionalized from the country's early days, placed millions of African people in bondage and marked the beginning of a long struggle for racial equality. Enslaved individuals were considered property rather than people, denied basic human rights, and subjected to a life of forced labor and brutality. This practice was vital to the economic growth of the southern states, where plantations relied on enslaved labor to produce cash crops like cotton, tobacco, and sugar. The dehumanizing nature of slavery created an enduring racial hierarchy that persisted even after its formal abolition. The end of the Civil War in 1865, with the passage of the 13th Amendment, theoretically liberated enslaved people. However, the promise of freedom was not immediately realized, as the Southern states passed a series of laws known as Black Codes. These laws sought to maintain white dominance by severely limiting the rights and freedoms of African Americans. The Black Codes restricted mobility, employment opportunities, and legal protections, pushing many freedmen and women back into forced labor through sharecropping arrangements that mirrored slavery in many ways. Despite these setbacks, African Americans began to organize, laying the groundwork for future civil rights movements. The Reconstruction period, which followed the Civil War, saw some advancements, such as the passage of the 14th and 15th Amendments. The 14th Amendment granted citizenship to all people born in the U.S., and the 15th Amendment extended voting rights to African American men. These amendments were a response to the racial inequalities that had existed for centuries and sought to address the systemic barriers that prevented African Americans from achieving equality. Yet, despite the legal gains made during Reconstruction, the end of this period brought a rollback of rights as white supremacist groups like the Ku Klux Klan emerged to terrorize Black communities and ensure the continuation of racial segregation. Jim Crow laws, enacted in the late 19th century, codified racial segregation in the South and created a system that segregated schools, public transportation, and other public spaces.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?